video is covered by Victims.
So, Baron, somebody that I enjoy immensely on YouTube, has had a lot of shit lately. He's had his channel taken down, which is fair enough, his own fault. He should have looked into what that image was from more before he put it up, blah, 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 blah. He didn't. He's apologised to the people. They've been very, very good with him, and that's all over and done with. But then he gets doxed. I'm sure that people who make videos know that that could be quite a scary thing, especially if you've said some of the things that Baring has said to some of the people that Baring has said, because some of these people, to be honest, are absolute fucking nutcases. So obviously Baring wasn't very happy about this. He made a video talking about it and talking about the conversation he'd had with somebody who had passed his details on to somebody else possibly, and then we get this.
Hello there, hello there, hello there, YouTubes. Now, I'll dispense with my usual intro because I really can't be fucking bothered. Now, Baring, given all of the drama surrounding you, the total drama, dare I say, surrounding your channel, Baring, you would think that you'd want to keep your head low and, you know, focus on re-editing all those videos, you know, the ones where you use the stolen image that wasn't.
Sorry. Oh, that always happens every time I listen to this droning Brummy virgin. Yes, that's right. It's everybody's favourite mangina, Kevin Logan. So, Logan continues for several minutes sending the internet to sleep whilst taking underhanded pot shots at Baring. I'm not going to inflict that on my subscriber. Oh, did I mention I've got a subscriber? Watch out, amazing atheist, here I come. So I'm going to skip through a load of his bullshit and we'll just look at some relevant points.
You know, focus on re-editing all those videos, you know, the ones where you use the stolen image that wasn't yours, wasn't created by you at all.
Is that the same one that you've used in the thumbnail for this video, you fucking genius?
But no, what you've done instead, you've tried to intimidate my friend, Danny Corks.
So, long story short, this Courts character wants to use one of Baring's videos in one of his videos, and he emails Baring to ask Baring to make this video public because it's set at private. Baring answers him and agrees to do so the guy can use it. He does this from his own email address, his personal email address, which gives his initials, and not only that, but the school that he attends, because the email address is obviously at whatever this school is. At some point later on, there's a conversation going on Twitter, Facebook, somewhere in public, where one of this guy's friends partially docks Baring. Baring's obviously not very happy about this and sends this. Now, whether Baring is threatening to dox him, as the Brummy boredom machine asserts, or whether he is simply saying to him, look, I don't want any more of this getting out because I've got your information, so you ought to leave mine alone, I don't know. We'll have to ask Baring. Regardless, what's actually happened is this Cox guy has passed some of Baring's details to one of his friends, who has then posted it in a public forum, thus partially doxing Baring. Baring has sent him this message, be it a threat, be it a warning, be it whatever. But Logan is pulling the old SJW victim narrative for his friend, Despite the fact he's the one that's passed the information to somebody, Bering's the one that's been doxed, Logan's pulling the victim card. What a fucking surprise.
Who wants to bet that Bering's fans will defend him on this one, even though it's indefensible?
Yes, we will, Logan, because even with your ridiculous attempt to spin the victim bullshit from this cock twat, you don't manage to make anything remotely sound indefensible. Especially when we find out what happens next.
So this is going to be a drama video.
What the fuck? Christy Winters? Why would she be getting involved? And why is this video posted not only on her own channel, but guess where? On Mr. Logan's channel also. It's a bit strange. Why would she be getting involved in this? I mean, she's such a respected academic.
And if you don't like drama, then you can go check out some of my other videos. I've just put up a mirror of a show I did with Deadhead Animations where we talk about feminism in Islam.
Feminism in Islam. My God, I bet that's a short video. What are they doing? Are they only beating their wives with good reason too, Christy? You fucking dick.
So go check that out. Now, there's been a lot of back and forth on the topic of Bering threatening to dox Danny Kaye.
Has there, Christy? Or do you prefer Fisty? No, that's not nice at all. Let's keep it nice and respectful. We'll just call you Dr. Splinters. Anyway, what Dr. Splinters here is failing to mention while she's trying to spin further this victim narrative from Danny Cox is that in the meantime between these two videos being made, Bering was doxed completely. On some website where these things go on, it's apparently quite famous for doxing people, and he was doxed there, and some other things have happened to him as well. Social media accounts have been hacked of his and Sugar Tits, but there's no mention of that here, because that doesn't fit Dr. Splinter's little victim narrative.
And there is new information that came to light in the last few days that I think is important to put out there to set the record straight.
She then witters on, strawmanning his fans, making out that they had doxed him. She says that this tweet that had got his last name on it came out days after he'd already been doxed on this website that's famous for doxing people, and she asserts that when she went to check, hundreds of people had already looked at it before the tweet went up. And then I thought, hang around. How would you know how many people had visited it before the tweet went up? Well, the answer to that is that she'd been checking it. She knew damn fine that he'd been doxed on there. And I thought, well, how would you know he'd been doxed on there before this tweet went up? And if his fans had doxed him in this tweet by putting his surname on the tweet and on his channel, then they hadn't doxed him if it was already on this website before that was mentioned. Bering obviously didn't know it was on this website, but you knew it was on his website. How did you know it was on his website, Dr. Splinters? I'll let Bering explain.
Hello. You might recall a video that I published yesterday in which I asked Tim, also known as Demotivator Opinions, for some names.
Because it's very, very counterproductive to say, hey, I'm really against doxing, and I'm going to take a stand against doxing. Oh, by the way, look, all these fucking people on my side are involved in doxing. Oh, that's fine, no problem. You know, they're on my side, so they can just dox away. Who gives a shit? No, I mean, I don't stand for that. The reaction that some people on the feminist side are having to this is, you know what? What is doxing really? Is it really doxing when you share private information about someone else? And so their reaction is to start making excuses for doxing themselves. But it's hard not to think that there's some validity to horseshoe theory when much of the day I'm having an argument with a hardcore, notorious feminist about, is this doxing? Is that doxing? I mean, just when I share this kind of information with these people, that's not really doxing, is it?
Wow, that is interesting, Tim. Who were they?
Yeah, Tim, who is this hardcore notorious feminist of whom you speak?
Now, since that video was published, I've been made aware of a particularly interesting conversation between Tim and my good friend Bering Cab.
Yeah, he's not my friend, he's my dad. My dad's an asshole.
Who claims to be the estranged love child of myself and Coppercab. Since I published that video urging Tim to give me the names of those conspiring to dox me, an interesting conversation has taken place between Tim and Bearingcab. Now, when I refer to my doxing, I'm talking about my private details being published on a well-known drama website, infamous for not only doxing, but also for spinning fake stories designed to tear down their subjects. Now, in recent days, the private details of Sugar Tits and myself have been published to this website, and in addition, I've been called a pedophile.
A pedophile? Now, who is it that has a history of claiming that people he disagrees with on the internet are pedophiles? It was involving Armoured Skeptic and Shoe on Head. Oh, it was Kevin fucking Logan.
Yep. Apparently Sugar Tits is 14 years old, and I'm holding her captive, forcing her to make anti-feminist YouTube videos according to this website. And in addition to all that, both Sugar Tits and I have had various social media accounts hacked.
Fuck, Baron buddy, that must have been a giant pain in the balls. You're really fucking doing well at staying calm with all this shit going on, bro. Well done.
We've regained control of them, but without doubt there's been a savage doxing and smearing campaign launched against us in recent days. Now, the person who actually uploaded our info to this website is this guy, and it looks like he does this kind of shit regularly. But who gathered all of our info and delivered it to him? Well, this guy's tried to throw us off the scent by publicly thanking Kevin Logan, Demotivator Opinion and Chrisiosity for the information on Sugar Tits. But they didn't have anything to do with it.
I wouldn't bet on it if I were you, Baron. This paedophile shit has got Logan's fingerprints all fucking over it.
So back to this conversation between Tim, aka Demotivator Opinion, and Bearingcab, in which Tim actually named those I was asking him for yesterday. The names of the people who orchestrated this whole thing. The people who gathered up all of our private info and put it in the hands of this serial doxer and shit stirrer. Those names were Danny Courts and Christy Winters.
And now it all makes sense. All the deflection, all the victim blaming, why this pseudo-academic dickface was getting involved in it in the first place. Now we see.
I approached Tim in order to have this confirmed. He was out at the time and couldn't really talk, but as soon as I told him I knew about Danny and Christy being behind this, Bearingcab gets this message.
And there you have it. These people are not only disingenuous, lying fuckwits, but they're complete scumbags. And to you, AD Motivator, whoever the fuck you are, you're as bad. You've defended them, you've hidden them, you knew who it was that had done this shit and you let them do it anyway. You did nothing to stop them. You are a fucking scumbag too.
I have a copy of the conversation between Tim and Bearingcab in which Tim names Christy and Danny as the ones behind all of this. I'll upload it when and if I need to. But I can't be fucked spending any more time on this. I'd like to get back to making videos about real stuff and not this petty shit. Now, would I be able to prove it was these two if this were a court hearing? Probably not. But this isn't a court hearing, and I'm more than satisfied that they were behind it. Danny, Christy, you are a pair of spineless cunts, and you should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. I think back to the tirade that Christy launched against me for apparently threatening to dox Danny, and I can only shake my head. You two are fucking pathetic. Fuck you. Oh, and by the way, I'm still not going to release any of Danny's details because I'm not an absolute piece of shit like you two. Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, I know. I didn't need to let the music play all the way through, but I do love that tune. It's awesome. Baron, if you could let me know where I can get the full copy of it, full version of it, I'd be really appreciative. Anyway, as far as you needing to upload the information that you've got to prove it, I think you might need to take a look at this. I believe Barin's version of events completely, if only because Dr. Splinters has proved herself to be a disingenuous, lying twat on many occasions. So, Barin, I think now's the time to release that information. Don't make me look a cunt, mate.